Oscar Bevis for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm here in Miami. Not very sunny Miami today, but still Miami. You've just said to me, Stitch, where else would you rather be?
Hey, I tell you what, it's not bad being here in Miami, you know, beach right across the street, beach staying in Las Vegas.
This is just probably something so mad for you, the fact that the last year you've worked with KSI, you're now working with Anish Gib. I mean, you've cornered the Klitschko brothers, Andre Ward, Chris Algieri for fights like Amir Khan and Pacquiao. A completely different world. I can imagine you're enjoying it and the buzz around it.
It is, you know, it's a different world, but it's my world, right? So like I was telling Gib, you know, here you're not a YouTuber, you're a boxer and you're a fighter. And it was funny because, you know, I'm hooked up with Tyson Fury now, and he was talking about, you know, they have a great camp. And I told him, you know what, the camp that you're going through right now is the same type of camp that Tyson Fury is going through. We're not taking no shortcuts with you. We're treating you like a world champion. So, yeah, you know, it's nice to be here. It's a different environment. You know, the audience is entirely different. But working with YouTubers coming into our business, and Vidal Riley and Leon have done a tremendous job in changing this guy from a YouTuber to a fighter.
We're going to come on to Tyson Fury in a bit, but first I just want to talk about, like you said, Gibbs camp. When you've got professional boxers, like if you look at some of the world champions on the card, like Tevin Farmer, Demetrius Andrade, they will be working on honing their boxing skills that are already there, strength, power, speed. With Gibb, is it sort of pretty much teaching him to box, almost like a classroom, his camp?
It's entirely like a classroom. You know, when Gibb came down, you know, I'm wrapping his hands for the first day, and he didn't even know who I was, you know. So, you know, at that point, I know he's coming in from a different world, right? And like I said, that's what I told him. You know, here you're not a YouTuber, you're a fighter. And so in that aspect, yeah, it's a little bit different. But I tell you, he's turned out to be a gladiator, you know. And I knighted him like I did KSI. I knighted him as a fighter because all the work that he put in and that transformation of being a YouTuber to a fighter, he did it. So I'm real proud of him.
You said he wasn't sure who you were. I'm going to imagine you're going to tell me that you weren't too sure about his background either.
Yeah.
Or are we a secret YouTube fan on the side?
No, you know what's funny? He asked me today, have you ever seen any of my videos? I said, no. You know, and one, I didn't even know who you were. But maybe it's time for me to go and study what these young guys are doing and why they're doing it and why they're coming into our world to fight. You know, so it's a different world entirely.
Why do you think of all the sports these guys have chosen boxing? I mean, let's be honest, they could have a fun wrestling match and people would watch it. They could play table tennis and people would watch it. Why do you think they've chosen boxing?
That's a real good question, man. I don't know if I have an answer for you. Outside of it's, you know, being a gentleman's sport, of course, but, you know, they go at it like two tigers, right? So I don't know. That's a good question. I don't have an answer for, but I'll ask Gibb tomorrow when I work with him. And I said, what made you come into this world, into our world? And, you know, one of the first things I did tell him is when I interviewed Mike Tyson years ago, when I first started wrapping his hands, I said, you know, I asked Mike Tyson, every fighter has that one little thing that nobody has. And I asked him, what's that one little thing? And very simply, he said, take the pain. You got to take the pain. So I told Gibb, that's what Mike Tyson said. So this is a game of hurt. You're going to come in here, you're going to work hard, you're going to get hit, you're going to hit people. So it's a game of pain, so make sure you take the pain.
No better man to take words from when you come to boxing than Mike Tyson, but you say it's a game of pain. How can you teach it? How can you tell someone, look, you can come in and we can go on the pads, we can wrap your hands, we can treat you like a professional, but when it comes down to it, you're going to get hit. I mean, you can't train for that. No matter if you're getting hit by Mike Tyson or Jake Paul, you're still getting hit.
Man, you are pretty good, brother. Listen, let me answer it this way. Yeah, you're right. You could teach anything. You could teach technique, and you could teach style. You could teach keeping your composure. You could, you know, teach the rules of the game, but you can't teach how to take the pain. And that's something that's within your soul. And I saw Gibbs through, you know, because he was sparring with top-notch guys out of Las Vegas. When I'd see him get a body shot or a head shot, you know, I knew that he would get hurt a little bit, but he kept throwing punches, you know. So I think he's superseded and he's accepted that, you know, this is a game of pain. He's going to get hit and he's going to hit people. So, you know, I think we're okay with that.
Just finally, I know, of course, you're wrapping his hands, etc. You're going to be in his corner. I'm not sure what answer you're going to give me for this, but can I have a prediction? Let's say you're a betting man. Where's your money?
You know, I don't bet. You know, I live in Las Vegas and I don't bet, and I don't like to make predictions.
You live in Las Vegas and you don't bet?
I don't know. Of course, you know, when I moved there, I had to be disciplined. But I will answer it this way, all right? And I will kind of make a half prediction on this. If it goes the distance, Gibbs going to win it, hands down. This guy throws volumes and volumes and volumes of punches, and his endurance is tremendous. That's his biggest asset. And in one of the sparring sessions, in the third round, he threw like 122 punches. You know, and that was phenomenal. When I think our last day in Vegas, he went 10 rounds, and it's a 6-round fight. But then Vidal had him do some shadow boxing in 20-minute increments, and in 20-second increments. 20 seconds, he threw 71 punches. So this kid is a volume puncher. I call him the new British Rocky Balboa. You know, because he just comes in there and he just scraps and he throws punches and he gets hit, but he keeps coming. So expect that type of fight.
You know a lot about the Rocky films. Does this feel like a mini Rocky film in itself?
It is, really.
Especially with all the people around filming, because you've got constantly all the guys around, and in the team, they've got their cameramen and they're documenting it as well.
It is like a Rocky film. You know, Gib coming in, you know, he had mentioned, I was a fat kid before, you know. Well, he's not a fat kid now. As a matter of fact, I saw that transformation when he first came to Las Vegas, where his body structure now, he's more chiseled down in the face, his body has tightened up. And I told him, you know, you're an athlete now. You know, you're not a YouTuber, you are an athlete. So he's made a great transformation. But yeah, he's the new British Rocky Balboa, man. I'm telling you, this kid, just the way he fights, and he throws a bunch of punches, you got to give him credit for him having the heart of a warrior to come and do what he does.
Okay, Mr. Tyson Fury, the one on everyone's lips, the big one, Fury Wilder 2. You're linking up with Tyson. You must be over the moon.
Yeah, you know what? It's a great pleasure to have gotten the call. Bob Arum and I guess, you know, Tyson Fury and their key team, they discussed about, you know, bringing in another cut man. Jorge Capetillo did a tremendous job the last time, but you know, it's the experience factor. I have the experience over him, and he kind of recommended to Tyson, you know what, bring in Stitch, you know, because this fight is too valuable for you, for me to be working as your cut man. So applaud him. But you know, as soon as I met Tyson Fury, first thing he did, shook my hand and says, "Welcome to the team, Stitch." You know, so I'm excited. You know, I met with him last Tuesday, went back to the gym Thursday, and had to come here. So when I get back, I'll be in the gym every day with him and getting to know what he's bringing to the table and let him know what I bring to the table. And that point of the cut, he could just kind of subtract that out of his worries. And we did. We looked at the cut. We discussed the cut. I told him what I'd be doing as preventive maintenance, and you know, basically keep an ice on him every round, and make sure that cut doesn't open up. And if it does, then you know, I'll handle it according to that. So I'm looking forward to it. He's a beast, man. I tell you, I see him being Deontay Wilder.
Last time we saw them two in the ring, people have said that Tyson Fury might have potentially won the fight. That was a lot of people's sort of outcome. But a Tyson Fury that had the layoff, had come back and fought not top-level opposition, had gone in with Wilder and potentially beat him. What's this Tyson Fury like in camp? I mean, you said he's a beast. How good is he looking?
He's looking tremendous, man. His sparring is going along well. He's hitting people, he's hurting people, and his defense is something that I've been impressed with. Is impeccable at this point. And you know, and I told him when I worked with Vladimir Klitschko, when Tyson Fury first came back, Tyson Fury beat Klitschko, right? And I said, you know, I thought at that point that Vladimir just had a bad day. Then I saw you fight Deontay Wilder, and you sold me as a fan because your offense and your defense is like no heavyweight out there. And I think, you know, the experience factor of him, you know, having these fights and coming back for a rematch, I think is a big advantage. And like he had said when he beat Vladimir Klitschko, I've been gone for 3 years, you know, so now he's been in the gym and all that. So I'm going to see an explosive Tyson Fury. And man, that kid could hit hard. God, he was buckling some guys, and I felt like throwing in the towel, but I'm just watching, you know. So he's doing real well.
It wouldn't be a surprise to anyone that you say, from what you've seen, Fury's defence is amazing. We know he can fight on the back foot very well, exactly how he beat Klitschko, good head movement, etc. But it's the hitting hard bit that perhaps people might be surprised by, because he's not a notoriously big puncher. But there's been a lot of talk about, look, I'm not going to beat Wilder, I'm going to stop him, and I'm going to stop him early.
Now, who was talking about who's not a big puncher? Deontay Wilder or
Fury.
Oh, Fury. Now,
But yet Fury's talking about potentially stopping Wilder and stopping him early.
I agree. Whoever said he's not a heavy puncher isn't seeing the new Tyson Fury. This kid was throwing bombs, man, and right on point. His contact ratio was real high for a heavyweight. So you could dispel that myth.
And of course the heavyweight scene's where everyone's going to talk about as well, the casual fans and of course the hardcore fans. We've got the Joshua, Fury, Wilder little trio. Is Fury Wilder the most entertaining on paper out of those fights? Forget the fact that Joshua Fury is a British matchup and a British showdown. On paper, is Fury Wilder the best of those fights?
That's a good question. Well, right now it is, of course, but Deontay Wilder, if he wins, him and Joshua won't be as big as Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. But I think if Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder, then you're going to take the championship to the UK. But I think it's going to draw a lot of attention. So, I know people have been saying that, but I don't believe that. I think you got, three of the best heavyweights that are there, that are names, that are marketable, that are going to fight each other one way or the other.
So I'm going to leave it there, but, all good willing, if Tyson Fury does win, stitch Duran over in the UK, be all good.
Nothing wrong with that, man. I love going to the UK and hanging out with my buddies up there. So if that happens, so you're saying that the next fight will be in the UK?
Well, we've heard it could be Saudi Arabia, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed for the UK.
I'll take the UK anytime.
Stitch, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for speaking to IFL TV, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you later on in the fight.
Of course, man. Let's talk later.
Gold Star Promotions is proud to present Floyd Money Mayweather. The man himself is coming to the UK for his UK tour, February and March 2020. For all info and tickets, Gold Star Promotions.co.uk.